address stakeholders who promote competitions in general, not only architects as we are. The SWOT tool, that's also an interesting tool we are providing here. So there's a couple of steps you have to go through. You can see here screenshots from the website. You put in, first of all, your contact information. Then you can, maybe you have to move the screen up a little bit because step 2 is not visible at the moment. And the third step is to have an individual analysis of the possibilities. So this means at the end, we can evaluate ADCs better through this tool to find the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and have data on this. Next one, please. At the moment, we are refining the questionnaire, adding a second set of questions, taking the perspective of clients as well, which can be quite interesting. We are exchanging information and know-how on the RG SWOT tool together with the UHERIT project. So the cooperation is, in my point of view, quite logical. Basically, our organization and the Bundesarchitektenkammer in Berlin, we are both partners in this project. We are all advocating for fair and transparent procurement methods and ADCs, especially in the framework of the RGE. We're encouraging cross-border collaboration between architects, and we are establishing the ideas and principles of the new European Bauhaus, economical sustainability and inclusion, accessibility in architectural processes. So the potentials of the collaboration already sketched in the proposed cooperation agreement is the RG network as a platform also used by UHERIT architects to connect. The adoption of the RG SWOT analysis tool for UHERIT and further synergies and joint activities will be welcome, of course. The cooperation with ACE is also important because there we have the whole range of European partners. So we have also tried to use their abilities and their data from the sector study, which is there for a lot of years. So that's very interesting to connect to that. The questionnaire is also covering, of course, design competitions. We beyond the original scale of the RG glossary, we also want in the future include further languages and countries to cover all of Europe in the end. And there are other synergies and cooperatives we are working on at the moment. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, please let me know. You can also put them in writing if that's easier for you. Other than that, I would pass over again to you, Olga. Thanks.
Thank you. That's inspiring information for us to be connected, to be seen in European Union. Thank you so much for making this platform and being, being with us these days. For all who hear me, please join this platform. For our foreign colleagues, for our Ukrainian colleagues, join the platform ArcGE, and you will be seen by many countries at once. So please join and be seen as a professional expert. Thank you so much, Daniel. If Martin Duplantier is here, I'm going to introduce him as an architect, an urbanist, and CEO of Martin Duplantier Architects. Paris,
I think
Bordeaux, Lviv.
Uta is just putting up her hand. I think she might have a question still on this topic.
Uta?
Thank you, Olga. This is not a question, just a probably explanation why Archie is presented at the webinar today. Is not only to highlight the overall aim of the project and overall platform, but this is the tool of the future School of Ukraine competition. This is how we try to facilitate the meeting of Ukrainian and European architects, because in the chat I already saw a question: how do European Union architect could find a Ukrainian partner? So while discussing and discussing different options, we came to the solution that Archie platform would be the best tool. So we encourage you to register yourself and your office to the Archie platform, and that applies for Ukrainians and non-Ukrainian architects. So this is how you could meet each other. It's not obligatory for the competition. If you have already contacts, you can skip it. But of course, as Olga said, being visible at European Union level would be really beneficiary for you. So I really encourage you to join the platform. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ruta, for this explanation, because it's a nice tool for being seen. And we will continue with the next speaker, Martin Duplantier. Martin, are you here with us? I know he was a bit late, but I don't know if he is
I think
here.
I see him. He's connecting.
Okay. Martin, are you here with us?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, we are hearing you, seeing you, and welcoming you to join this meeting. And I have already introduced you, but maybe you will start telling us about your mission in Ukraine, about the possibilities for Ukrainian architects.
Sure. Hello, everyone. So I'm Martin Duplantier. I'm a French architect and also president of the French Architecture Association, called AMO. I'm going to share my screen because I have a few things to show you and introduce you the mission that we have here in France and the things that we're trying to push as well in Ukraine. Can you see my screen? Yes.
Yes, we're seeing you.
Okay,
Yes.
great. So since the start of the full-scale invasion, we've been quite active on, let's say, I've been quite active on a private level as well as at the level of the association of AMO Association. The AMO Association is the gathering of not only architects but as well all the key players of the city making process, meaning private developers, public bodies, so cities, urban planners, engineering firms, and as well some industrial producers. And this mixity and this diversity is quite important because we are trying to raise the level of architectural awareness and quality awareness in different manners, through conferences, through visits of construction sites, of completed neighborhoods or projects, through as well a number of lobbying processes, to the national level, to the European level. So all of that brings people together to have some kind of a common culture of quality. And this is really the word. I was yesterday at a conference in Paris on rebuilding Ukraine, and the main word that we kind of managed to bring was the word of quality, because as you may know, every reconstruction period brings a lot of energy, and sometimes energy doesn't go into the right direction. And reconstruction periods, we're healing and repairing um, most of, let's say, the wrong or the errors that we have made in Western Europe in the 1950s, right after the Second World War. And this is really what we need to avoid in Ukraine. So everything that we're doing now, which is to kind of anticipate all of that, is very important, because it will allow us to avoid most of the errors and mistakes that we have made after the Second World War, not only, by the way, in France, but as well in Ukraine, as the Soviet reconstruction has been a period as well of erasing identities and contexts and specificities of Ukrainian cities. So the AMO Foundation that we created, which is on the side of the association, aims at helping and providing this awareness, these processes that could be really helpful for Ukraine. So we help in different ways. For example, on the subject, on the topic of social housing, as France has a large social housing real estate, and we think that could be as well some of some help for Ukraine. But we help as well on a number of I mean, on protection of heritage. And we've done a lot of data, a lot of mapping, a lot of bringing awareness again to the Ramadas on their own heritage. And we are also helping a few cities, and we've signed with the city of Lviv and the city of Mariupol on organizing architectural competitions. And you, as you all know, architects should be paying, let's say, the price of potential stimulation around architectural projects in Ukraine. There will be a lot of work. There is already, but I think it's very important to balance and to give to everyone, let's say, the possibility of bringing good ideas in a good way. And so the way that we organize these competitions is key to me. In France, we have a very strong competition culture, and every competition is done through a short list, and the short list I mean, the teams that are on the short list are kind of paid off. That doesn't pay off all the costs, but at least it does pay off some of the cost. And when you're doing a competition, you're not putting your own studio at risk completely. And yeah, and this is something that we would like to share as well with our Ukrainian colleagues, and bring to, let's say, to the municipal communal level of decision makers. We also want to bring and to push carbon-free solutions. There is, you know, the European Union looks like a big, let's say, entity, but in reality, it's a number of different countries with each of them, and France is completely in this case, each of them having their own norms and their own ambitions. And France has decided to push really hard since, let's say, 5 or 6 years towards natural biosourced materials. And so we have seen a lot of startups, a lot of industrial producers coming up with a number of completely natural construction materials. And you see this one. It's actually a producer that was in Mykolaiv right before the war, and we got in touch, and we try to work together. And well, unfortunately, the war has weakened his production completely. I mean, down to zero. But I heard that he's launching a new plant in the surroundings of Kiev. So um, so at the studio and with our team in Lviv, we are pointing out and mapping all of the resources, natural resources, but also the companies that are able to, let's say, produce construction materials that are relevant towards this new Bauhaus paradigm, new European Bauhaus, saying that we have also the duty to build back better, of course, and to embody a number of actors in Ukraine that are not only architects, but are also that are industrial linked and linked to this natural paradigm of this biosourced paradigm. So here you can see a number of maps that we have done on different cities: Kharkiv, Chernihiv, Mykolaiv, Sumy, Mariupol, on the loss of heritage, on the also educational dimension, as the subject that unites us, or that gathers us today, is a link to schools. Well, this is really something that we have studied. We have published a small book dedicated to all the standards of schools in Ukraine and their potential adaptation on, let's say, on the short-term adaptation, so that kids can come back to school. And then we're also helping the city of Izium to rethink its development, to look at what can be kept, what should be, let's say, rethought and redeveloped, and more in general ways. Our action is really to anticipate all these different issues of reconstruction, of common works and studies, of imagining a post-carbon Ukraine that can be a pioneer, not only for the country, but as well for Europe in general, for the continent, as you are facing in Ukraine all of the crises that we will face very soon in Europe, meaning not only the military crisis, but as well the social crisis, the inclusivity crisis, the climatic, of course, and the energy crisis. So all of that will be very useful for the rest of the continent, and I think there is definitely a sense to share all of that and to help the country as much as we can to reuse, rethink, and be very proactive with you. I think that's it for the time being, but I'm very open to any kind of question.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Martin. You're a big friend of Ukraine. I haven't that luck to see you in person, but I've heard a lot about your helping our society and our cities. So thank you so much for this inspirational part. And if someone has questions, I see some questions, but they are already answered in the chat about the ArcYe platform. I already have entered the platform and it's very easy, so it's not so difficult as you may think. Let's let's continue our. Thank you so much, Martin. Let's continue our presentations with the representative of Architects Council of Europe. If Ruta, if this expert is with us, because you probably know better who and how to introduce the person, the speaker, next speaker.
Yeah, I was the one to say the greetings on behalf of Ruth Shageman, and I did that at the very beginning of our meeting. So there will be no extra presentation, as Architects Council of Europe is involved in many of the activities mentioned. So they are partners of EuroHerit, they are partners of the new NEB LAB Public Infrastructure of Ukraine, and they are also partners of the ARCHI project. But I will just use the occasion that I can speak. So I would like to invite Martin to join our initiative NEB LAB Public Infrastructure for Ukraine. I think that we can do a lot of wonderful things together. So Martin, we will be waiting for your message. And thank you, Olga. Maybe we can turn to some questions and answers.
Yes, please. Yes, I'm certainly want to propose some answering the questions. If you have that. Oh, sorry. I saw a question about the ArcHye, and if you see some more, please. Please. I'm what? 1 minute. I see only answered question. I can ask my own question, but I already seen that it's not as difficult to enter the ArcHye platform. My question was, what shall we have to enter? What shall we have as experts? What proofs, what levels shall we have to enter the ArcHye platform? But I see it's easy and just a few questions and it's nothing difficult. You don't have to upload some documents or something. So that's it. Maybe I haven't seen some hidden next steps, but for the first overlook, it's quite easy to enter. Maybe someone else has other questions about the process. We can have the possibility to ask the experts, and please write down your questions, and we will answer.
Olga, may I a comment, not a question? Yes. I think that some of you, especially those who are interested in participation in the competition Future School for Ukraine and had read the brief or had entered the competition website, you could have some questions regarding the competition brief. So the answer where those questions should go. All the questions related with the competition brief or technical specification and the program of the school should go through the official CVP system. So you have to register in the system of public procurement of Lithuania. You will find that competition according to our instructions, and then you should ask all your questions there in written. And there you will also find some previously made questions and answers. So probably you will find some answer. So this could be questions related with the program of the school, the conditions of participation, the submission of work. Please do those questions not online, not to any personal emails, but to the system. This is the only way how we can answer them. Thank you very much.
And start the part of ArcHye in the question sects. Does anyone already as for me, to know more about the possibilities and the processes and the projects and the future school. Also, I'm appreciated about the possibility to be seen, to be in on the level of European architects as we may be, because before the war we were good enough to work on our Ukrainian territory, and now we should be on the level of colleagues as well. So the webinar, and for those who registered to read more by in your own time, and if you have the questions, as Ruta said, you can write the questions and to get the full information about the possibilities. Thank you so much, Ruta. It's inspiring because it's like a bridge between our countries and the societies. So thank you so much. Дякую всім за те, що ви знайшли час. Не будемо відволікати вас, бо я розумію, що всі відволіклись. So let's work. Let's join the platforms, and thank you so much for your attention.